for a few minutes, but it's not supposed to get cold. Potatoes are done, too.
I'm banging on the door for 5 minutes. You think they forgot?
It's a possibility.
Well, it's starting to get cold out. Maybe at the spur of the moment they decided to move to Florida.
You're very funny. I think you should take the key and go down and have a look, okay?
Myron! Oh my God, Bernice. Myron! Myron, are you here? Marcia! Marcia! Marcia, get down. Come on.
Oh my God! Where's Myron?
He's not here anywhere.
Good morning.
Subway crash at rush hour is really awful.
Just got traffic tied up all over the north side. Divisions blocked, clocks blocked, Dearborn's
North
blocked.
Avenue, too. They're working their way in from two sides of the tunnel towards the wreck, is what I understand.
Gosh, can you imagine spending the night down there?
Morning. Morning.
Hey?
Want that coffee? I got it for you right here, man. Where? In the bottom of my cup. See, I put mine on top of it to keep it warm for you. I'll let you have some when I'm finished with mine. Unless you got a straw. You got a straw? No. Connie, what time do we need to be at the lieutenant's house tonight?
7:55 sharp at the latest. His daughter's gonna bring him back home around 8 o'clock.
Now, are we supposed to bring presents or?
You like writing parking tickets?
I'll bring a present.
Carlos.
Morning, Lieutenant.
Morning, Lieutenant.
Myron Ginsburg, white male, 80 years old. Neighbors found his wife, Bernice, 78, alone, unconscious. Attempted suicide. Husband's been missing a few days. That's why she tried to do herself in. She's a county med under observation. The neighbors, tenants, really, can be reached at, well, here, these numbers. Name's Koppelman.
Guy's got ALS. That's Lou Gehrig's disease, huh? Man, this is not going to be a pleasant one. Oh, by the way, happy birthday.
Why are you whispering?
I figure at your age you want to keep it a secret.
Get out of here. Sandowski.
Sir.
We need a name attached to a body we can't find. Somebody named Dave. White male, 35, 36 years old, dark hair, medium build. Relatively well-dressed, was last seen jumping off the Michigan Avenue Bridge last night. About 12:15, some guy named Charlie Winstead, called 911. Tried to talk the guy out of jumping, then jumped in after him, trying to save him. Marine unit fished Winstead out about 12:20, but so far, no Dave.
How do we know his name's Dave?
Well, it seems this Winstead guy knew him. Didn't know his name, but knew him. They hung out at the same bar. Just go talk to Winstead and whoever else is mentioned in the prelim. Find out whatever you can. Somebody's going to report the guy missing. If they haven't done it already. I'd like to be able to tag him the minute they pull him out of the river. They already got a morgue full of unidentified bodies.
I told everybody 7:55. You know this bunch, they're never on time, so this way we'll be sure that they'll be there before 8:15. I'm gonna be there at 7. Thank you very much. I have to go now. Goodbye.
Help them. We already have 3 times the normal number of missings this morning. Find out how many of them were on that train so we don't have to go out spinning our wheels looking for them.
Okay.
Try Masonic Medical. Some of the survivors from the train wreck have been taken there, too. Yes, I'm afraid a lot of people have died. Now, we haven't got a final list yet.
want to report a missing person.
Missing person is Manaher. What was that? Linsky? The C or K? I don't see it here. Check back in about a half an hour. We're getting new names in all the time.
You a cop?
Why, you a robber? You know, cops, robbers. You don't get it, man? It's a joke.
Well, my mother's missing. She never got home last night.
It's all right, man. We'll find her.
So you've lived here how long?
2 years. We'll stay at least until we finish school. The Ginsburgs are giving us a terrific break on rent.
You're both at Northwestern?
Phil went back for his MBA. I still have 1 year of med school and an internship and residency.
You and the Ginsburgs seem really close. Are you related or anything?
No. They practically adopted us. We really love these people. If you could pick your own parents, they're the ones I'd pick. I mean, they're smart, kind, funny, wise.
Surprised they never had any children of their own.
Well, they have us. And a lot of other people they've helped. You know, if he doesn't come back, I don't know how Mrs. Ginsburg is going to live without him. I guess that's why she tried to kill herself. She couldn't face life alone.
When's the last time you saw Mr. Ginsburg?
Phil and I tried to figure that out last night. I guess it's been 2 weeks. We usually see him every other day or so, but between work and finals and the holidays, I guess we got too busy.
How advanced was Mr. Ginsburg's ALS? Was he in pretty bad shape?
Well, the last 6 months, he's been getting weaker and weaker. Fasciculations were increasing.
Fasciculations? What's that?
Uncontrolled visible twitches of muscle fiber. I noticed an increase in spasticity in his limbs. It seemed like it was getting really hard for him to walk. That's why they got the wheelchair, but I never saw him use it.
What kind of doctor are you gonna be?
I was gonna go into dermatology, but Ginsburg's turned me around. Now I want to be the best gerontologist there ever was.
Do you know what these are for?
This one stems involuntary salivation, drooling. This one helps with the stiffness from the spasticity. This one's for cramps, fatigue. This one helps to control laughing or crying fits so he won't seem like a crazy person. Which he's not. This one helps him sleep.
Wouldn't he need these if he was...
You Officer Sandowski?
You Charlie Winstead? I gotta hand it to you, man. I don't know if I could have jumped off that bridge in the middle of the night. It's pretty scary.
The officers who showed up tried to stop me. They said the boat was coming, but I saw Dave go down for the 3rd time. I couldn't just stand there and watch him drown. I like the guy.
Took some guts. You know him pretty well, huh?
As well as anyone. Dave was a loner. I don't think he had too many friends. Just one of those guys who have a hard time connecting with people, you know? One of those people who fade into the corners of the world. Gray, like an alley cat.
But you never knew his last name or where he lived or anything?
Hey, that's one of the things about hanging out at the Billy Goat Tavern. Get to exchange ideas with strangers. Don't have to ruin it by telling them who you are.
It says here you thought Dave was a writer. You ever mention who he worked for?
Oh, I didn't say he wrote for a living. I just said he was a writer. He wrote these short stories, sketches of characters he met in bars. I can show you some of his work if you like. It might help you if you read them.
I don't think I'll need to do that.
But you might really like Dave's stories, being a cop and all. Drop him by your office.
Okay. I'll see you later.
What I really need to know, Mrs. Ginsburg, is how long your husband's been gone.
57 years. We met at the Olympics in Berlin in 1936. I was 18. He was 23 and so handsome.
She's going to keep going in and out. She still has a lot of the tranquilizer she took last night in her bloodstream. A couple more hours, she'll be a lot more lucid.
Hitler's speech at Nuremberg. We were there. We heard it. Later, at the beer garden, we started making plans to escape Germany.
I think there's a real good possibility that this kid's mom's gonna be found among the unidentified from the subway crash.
His father dies in a car crash. His mother in a subway crash 4 years later? Hope you're wrong.
Yeah, so do I. She's a freelance editor, magazine articles or something, but she works at home all the time. Then she goes downtown to deliver things sometimes. She takes a subway.
Yeah, but he told you she's always there when he comes home after school. Train crash was 5:03. School's out, what, 3:30?
But he's part of some kind of computer club, so he doesn't get home till 5:30. Now, she's on her way home. That puts her right on the train that crashed.
So the kid was home all night alone?
Yeah. That's something else that makes this thing look bad. See, Malcolm told me that his mother never leaves him home by himself. If she's not there, then either his aunt Rosemary or her best friend Thelma is there to take care of him. He also has grandparents who live in Detroit. He knows his aunt's number and his grandparents' number. I've been calling them, but there's no answer.
What about Thelma?
Malcolm doesn't know what Thelma's last name is. I'm going to take him home and have a look around. Maybe at least I can find out who Thelma is.
You check with the school. Maybe they have some other numbers.
Today is the first day of the Christmas vacation, Lieutenant. Ain't nobody there.
His mother's name's Diane Carter. I'll have Connie watch the victim list. Let you know.
I came in like this. Put the deadbolt on. Then I called, Mom, I'm home. No, first I put my keys in my pocket, then I called. Then I went to the kitchen, see if there was a note on the fridge. No note. So I fixed myself a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Now, you want me to fix one?
No, that's okay, man.
I just thought the timing would be important. So then I went to call my Aunt Rosemary. No answer. So I went over to my mom's desk. You know my mom can spell anything. But she always makes me look stuff up.
You know that big guy in my office, the one who sits by the door? He's the same way, man. Call Thelma. You sure you don't know Thelma's last name? Come on, Malcolm, think about it, man. Think real hard.
Man, I don't know. I'm sorry. It's just Thelma. I never have to call her Mrs. anything.
It's okay. Does your mother let you play with her computer?
Nah, not anymore.
She used to?
Yeah, well, she's got this modem, you know? You can call other computers on the phone.
Yeah, I know what a modem is.
Yeah, well, I was kind of playing around with it one day, and I logged onto a computer in London, England. Mom got a telephone bill for $432, so I'm not supposed to play with the computer anymore.
But you do know how to work it, right?
Yeah.
Does your mother keep her phone numbers in there?
Yep.
Well, come on, man, get to it. Search for the name Thelma.
Cool it, Thelma Burns.
You used your mother's modem last night, didn't you? And you forgot to plug the phone back in.
It was just a local call. I logged onto some bulletin board. I swear it didn't cost any money.
Well, it looks like nobody you and your mom know is at home today. I guess you're gonna have to pack a bag.
Why? Where am I going?
Well, you're gonna have to stay somewhere, man. If we don't find your mom by tonight, I'm not gonna let you stay here by yourself again. Come on, I'm sorry, but you gotta get a bag. Come on, let's go.
Missing persons manager. Hello, Robert. Sure, 1 second. Constance, line 3.
Connie, I got a number for Thelma Burns. I've been trying it, but there's no answer. I need you to keep trying it for me, okay? Oh, and what about the aunt and the grandparents? Any response from them? No? Okay, here's Thelma's phone number.
Okay, I'll try. No, Diane Carter's name isn't on any of the victim lists. Her name hasn't popped up on any of the hospital rosters, and there's no record of her being moved by ambulance anywhere.
Oh, what about the morgue?
The only thing I can get out of the morgue is a busy signal. I can't get in there by phone or by fax. I just talked to a couple of uniforms who were down there, and they said the place is like a nut house. The only way you're gonna find out anything from them is to go down there yourself. And be pushy. And I know you know how to do that.
Look, Connie, can you do me a favor? Can you go down there for me? I got the kid with me. I can't take him down there.
Well, I can't go down there now. The lieutenant just piled 16 more files on my desk. I can't even get out to help Mrs. McAuliffe at the party tonight, which I promised I would do.
Can I take this?
What for? Why?
It's police procedure, man. It's very important, all right? Malcolm, is this your father?
Yeah. I miss him.
I went to see Bernice at the hospital as soon as I heard. She was still woozy about everything, but there was something else going on. She was very distant, not her usual self.
Well, she's been through a lot in the last 24 hours.
She's been through a lot in the last 75 years, Sergeant Marone. She was here when I diagnosed Myron with ALS a year and a half ago. It was one of the saddest days of my life. I had to hold back the tears. But the two of them, they took it.
His upstairs neighbor said he was deteriorating very quickly.
The quality of his life has been diminishing rapidly. Myron's a brilliant man. He still beats me at chess, but his hands shake so badly at times he knocks over the pieces. He can't walk very far anymore. Can't drive anymore. That hurts.
Couldn't have gone very far unless he had some help.
Last time he was in, I prescribed a wheelchair. Oh, that really upset him. But soon it's going to be almost impossible for him to walk.
Do you think he would have taken the wheelchair if he left home?
Myron wouldn't leave home. Myron wouldn't leave Bernice. After 50-odd years of marriage, he was still in love with her. He didn't just love her, he was in love with her.
Doctor, do you think Mr. Ginsburg ever considered suicide?
Sergeant, I took an oath to prolong life. If I let myself think about my limitations, I couldn't practice medicine. It's tragic that Myron has to suffer, even emotionally. But to help him create that final act, to take his own life, no, I couldn't do that. So I advised him to speak to his rabbi instead.
The report says Charlie Winstead was in the goat last night with a guy named Dave who must have left around midnight.
Dave? What Dave?
He said he didn't know his last name, but Dave was his pal.
Dave. Dave Archer?
How old?
Retired printer. I don't know, 68, 69?
No, this guy's around 35, dark hair.
Well, it doesn't ring a bell. Huh? Oh, Preacher Dave. Black guy?
No, it's a white guy.
You know, between the holidays and that subway crash, we were packed last night. I was hopping. I wouldn't have known it's Santa Claus. You know what? You ought to talk to some of the regulars. No, really, you should, because they know what's going on. Try Tommy. In here every night till he falls over. Watch out for the guy next to him. Art Chapman. Main claim to fame, he's a letters to the editor writer. Given half a chance, you'll be listening to his entire philosophy of life. Hey, Tommy, you know any Dave who was in here last night drinking with Winstead before he took the plunge?
Who wants to know? I'm with missing persons. I need to identify Dave so I can notify his family.
Charlie was just there at the end of the bar, like every other night. I didn't see him with anyone.
Well, it was around midnight, Chapman. By then, you can't see your own foot.
Hey, I resemble that.
Hell of a guy, Charlie. Hell of a guy.
His parents were missionaries, Grew up in India.
No, China. And he once killed a lion with a bow and arrow.
I believe that was a snow leopard in Nepal with a crossbow.
No, it had to be the professor in the library with a wrench.
Okay, guys. So around midnight, Winstead's friend or somebody runs out. Did anybody see somebody upset run out of here around midnight? Then Winstead jumps up and dials 911. Where's the phone?
I saw him make that call. It was 12:20.
12:05.
12:20.
12:05.
12:20, because I was thinking.
Your mom as pretty as mine?
My mother's the most beautiful woman in the entire world, man.
Nuh-uh. Because my mom's the most beautiful woman in the entire galaxy.
All right. How about we call it a tie? What do you say?
Okay. My mom's the most beautiful younger woman, and your mom's the most beautiful older woman.
It's okay with me, but I think my mama might have a little problem with it.
You won't tell her. This is just between you and me.
No, I can't do that, man. See, I don't keep secrets from my mama. How about you? You keep secrets from yours?
Oh, no.
She keeps secrets from you?
She tries. But I always find out. I even know where she hides my presents.
Are you going in to see the lieutenant?
Yeah.
Can you do me a big favor and keep me busy for a while? I have a bunch of stuff to do for Mrs. McCullough for the party tonight, and every time I start to get something done, the lieutenant is hovering over my desk.
I'll do my best.
Thanks.
Lieutenant, nothing in this Dave case adds up. I checked every missing persons report filed in the last 24 hours. Nobody even comes close to matching Dave's description. I go down to the bar where Charlie hangs out. Nobody there knows who Dave is.
You interviewed Winstead, right?
Yeah, I met him down by the bridge. Everything he said matched the report from last night, word for word. I checked him out, no record. Seems like an honest citizen.
You know what, Johnny? Let's table it for right now. If nobody's looking for the guy. Let's wait for a body to pop up, see if we can ID it. In the meantime, there's lots of worried people out there because of that subway crash who need our help.
Okay. You know, Lieutenant, this is really sad. Here's this guy, Charlie Winstead, risked his life for this other guy who nobody else in the whole world seems to give a hoot about.
Can you keep your eye on my little friend for me, please? Thanks.
Listen, you wait here, all right? I'll be right back. Do not pass go. Do not collect $100. Just sit here. You got it?
You think my mom was killed on that subway last night, don't you?
Malcolm, she could be anywhere. I just want to find out where she isn't, all right?
You're gonna show him my mother's picture, aren't you?
Yeah, I am. You know why? Because I want to be able to tell you that she's not here. Okay?
Pete!
Hey, man. Take a look at this. Have you seen her?
Let me tell you something, Bobby. We've had so many steps through here since that wreck yesterday. I'm not sure I'd recognize my own sister.
She's like 30 years old, maybe 5'4", 105 pounds.
Got one I just stuck in a drawer. Could fit that description. Want to look?
Sure.
Okay.
Hey, take it easy, man. It's all right. I got what I came for. Your mother's not here.
We go home now.
Sure we can, man. It's all right. Hey, you know what? I know a great place for lunch, man. How about that? Hmm?
What do you think I told him? I told Myron to choose life. Deuteronomy 30, verse 19, the scripture is very explicit. I called heaven and earth to record this day against you. And I have set before you life and death, blessing and cursing. Therefore, choose life.
He wanted permission to commit suicide.
I've known the Ginsbergs for 25 years, ever since I was 15 years old. Without their help, my family would never have been able to come to America and start a new life.
Families stayed very close.
Close? When I became a rabbi, Myron said he couldn't have been prouder if I'd been his own son. And Bernice, she was thrilled. She said I had made her life worth living. I think it was mostly for her sake that he wanted to end it.
It must have been very difficult to withhold giving permission.
Myron was not asking my permission to die. He was asking God's permission.
I know what the Catholic Church would say.
More or less, Sergeant Marone. We live by the same rules. Our lives, our persons, our bodies have only been lent to us by God. Your life is not your own, mine either. I told Myron your life belongs to God. You have no right to take your life. He was sitting there right where you are. His face twitching, his hands shaking so badly, looking me straight in the eyes. He wanted to know why. Why, if God wanted him to live so long, why couldn't he be allowed to be healthy? Why were Bernice and him being made to suffer like this?
Did you have an answer for him, Rabbi?
I told him life isn't fair. But the Old Testament tells us that it is not for man to determine what is fair.
In the Catholic Church, when someone committed suicide, traditionally they were not buried in church ground. Is it the same in the Jewish faith?
Where Bernice and Myron grew up, there is a separate section of the cemetery for suicides, 6 feet away from the others.
Was Myron worried about this?
Yes. Although now we usually determine that people who kill themselves are not in their rational minds, and we bury them with everybody else.
But what I know about Myron Ginsburg and ALS, despite his deteriorating body, he was definitely in his right mind.
Malcolm. 2 hot chocolates, 2 dogs, and French fries.
All right. Thanks.
There you go. So, what was your father like?
It was fun.
Yeah?
Took me to soccer practice on weekends.
You still play?
Nah.
How come?
My mom's not really into sports.
I never played soccer. I played football, man.
Your dad teach you?
No. I don't really remember a lot about my dad. He was in the Army. He went to a place called Vietnam, and he never came home.
Did your mom cry?
Yeah, she did. Yours?
Yeah, lots. Sometimes she still does. What did you do when your mom cried?
Well, I put my arms around her, tell her that I loved her. I still do. How about you?
Well, I bring her some cookies and make her a cup of tea.
That sounds nice. How'd you learn that?
Well, when I used to cry, my grandmother would bring me milk and cookies to make me feel better. Only I know my mom likes tea better than milk.
I gotta call the office.
You think they found my mom?
I don't know. Let's go find out.
Bobby, I just found Thelma Burns. Her name just popped up on the computer.
Where is she?
My mom. They found my mom?
Thelma. They found Thelma.
All right. Now she knows where my mom is.
Well, what's her condition? Okay, thanks a lot. We'll go over there. Thelma's in the hospital. She was on the subway.
Is she okay?
We don't know. We're gonna have to go over there and visit her.
You got any money? Well, you can't go visit somebody in the hospital without bringing flowers.
Yeah.
I need a hand.
I only got 2 and they're both busy.
Well, all of these are cases that were filed last night by people who were worried because they thought that these people might have been on that subway train, but they were just delayed getting home in traffic and stuff because of the tie-ups. But now they're home and all these cases have to be filed as unfounded. Can you do that for me?
What are you talking about?
You know what I'm talking about. I have to help Mrs. McCall for the party. I don't have time for these.
Johnny, someone dropped this off for you at the desk downstairs. Yeah.
What is that?
These are these short stories that guy who jumped off the bridge wrote. His friend thought it was important that I read them.
So, you gonna help me out?
Yeah.
Carlos, what time is it you getting the cake over there?
I don't know. Haven't had a chance to talk to her all day.
I think you're looking for a body.
Yeah, maybe. But where does a man like that go to die?
Forest Preserve? Hotel? Checks himself into a county hospital anonymously? Lots of places. Any place his wife wouldn't have to deal with the death. And if it was a suicide, the lake's real cold this time of year. Death comes real quick. And the body probably wouldn't show up till spring.
You know, there's only one good thing about today.
What?
I'm glad it's your birthday, not mine.
Miss Thelma Burns was admitted at 10:43 this morning. Crushed pelvis, various lacerations, in extreme shock, but stable.
Can we see her?
She's in surgery. They're repairing her hip. It'll be several more hours before she's out. It's a very complicated procedure. But it's not very dangerous. She'll be fine.
Is there an inventory of her personal belongings there? Can I see it? Great, thanks. All right. You got one purse, coat, overnight bag, 2 blouses, a toothbrush, cosmetics, underwear. Malcolm, when Thelma comes to stay with you, does she bring something special for you?
Oh, yeah, chocolate chip cookies.
Large, homemade chocolate chip cookies?
Yeah.
Well, looks like Thelma was planning to stay with you for a few days, man. Help me out on this one, Malcolm. Be a detective, all right? Your mother's gone. She left in a hurry. So's your Aunt Rosemary. And we've been calling your grandma and your grandpa in Detroit, and they're not home either.
What if they all went someplace together? Without me?
Well, that's what I'm thinking. I just don't know where or why.
Missing persons manager. Robert, what can I do for you?
Dan, on my desk is a preliminary interview with Malcolm Carter. In there, you'll find the name and phone number of his grandparents in Detroit. Get on to Detroit PD, the ambulance services, the hospitals, the fire department, anything you can think of. See what pops up, all right? I'll be there in about 20 minutes.
Gotcha.
Did you get all these cases closed for me?
No, sorry. Something really unbelievable just came up with my case.
Where are you going?
I gotta get down to records.
Dan, can you help me?
Is it an emergency, Constance?
No.
Well, Roberts is.
Frank, are you busy? All of these cases were filed last night by people who were worried that these people might have been on the subway last night, but they were just delayed getting home in traffic and stuff because of the tie-ups. But they're home now, and all these got to get filed as unfounded.
Morrow. Mrs. Koppelman? What's the matter?
I just got a letter from Mrs. Ginsburg. It's postmarked 2 days ago.
Mrs. Koppelman? Okay, take a real deep breath and just read me the letter, okay?
Dear Marcia and Phil, by the time you get this, I will be with Myron. As you know, the last couple of years have been very hard for us. Without your help and kindness, I don't know how we would have made it this far. I say we, for 57 years it's been we. A long time ago, I stopped thinking of myself as a separate person. Two weeks ago, Myron begged me to help him die. I could not refuse.
Mrs. Koppelman, I'm going to leave here right now and go to the hospital to see Mrs. Ginsburg. Now, I'll need to get that letter from you later. Are you going to be home? Okay. Ray, Bernice Ginsburg killed her husband. She sent the letter to the Koppelmans and confessed the whole thing. Now I'm going to call homicide, and I'm going to go over there and arrest her.
No, you're not. Let's talk to her first. Get some facts. A lot of extenuating circumstances here. Dan, call my wife. Tell her I'll be getting home late.
Gotcha.
Where's the patient that's supposed to be in this room?
We don't know.
What do you mean you don't know?
She's gone. The floor nurse went in to give her medications about an hour ago, and she was gone. We notified the other floors, but she must have left the hospital.
Well, wasn't anybody watching her? She tried to commit suicide last night, and you guys just let her waltz out the front door?
Please lower your voice. There's still other patients here.
Yeah, are you sure? When's the last time you checked?
Carlos, she was brought here in an ambulance. She's got nothing with her. Where's she gonna go?
Home.
Charlie, how you doing?
Investigator Sandowski. Did you read Dave's stories?
Yeah, I did. I've been really glad you gave them to me. They're really good.
Think so?
Well, I'm not a critic or anything, but the characters seem very real. The plots are a little unbelievable, but the people are very true to life.
Yeah. Well, Dave liked people. He just didn't really know how to talk to them, though.
That's too bad, because I think he had a lot to say. His plots could have been better.
Like what?
Well, a little stuff. Like in this story about the lady who's gonna jump out the window.
Yeah, and the guy in the pool hall across the street rescues her.
Yeah, well, if, say, there really wasn't a lady who was gonna jump, and the guy called the police, and when the police came, they found out that there wasn't any lady who was jumping. Maybe the guy was just lonely, needed some attention.
Yeah.
Well, when they found out that the guy had filed a false report, they'd be real angry. They would have wasted a lot of time and energy for nothing. He'd be arrested and charged with filing a false report. Come on, Charlie. I ran your name through our files. Every one of these stories corresponds to a 911 call made by you. Lady jumping out of building, kid rescued from a fire, old lady saved from a mugger. None of these things really happened, did they, Charlie?
You can't arrest me because you can't prove any of that.
Hey, don't start hitting me with attitude unless you think you'd enjoy doing time. Look, man, I came in here this morning and I talked to everybody. You know something? Everybody around here really likes you. They think you're funny and entertaining. And they know all your stories are just stories. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna hang a flag on your name on the police computer. I see so much as a parking ticket. I'm gonna be on your back and in your face so fast you ain't gonna know what's happening.
I hear you.
Hope I won't be seeing you around, Charlie.
Even if the lieutenant's gonna be late, I gotta get over there. Mrs. McAuliffe is expecting me to help. Oh, and if Carlos calls, will you tell him that Anita and Carlito are already there?
We're going to be on time, but I promised Robert I'd wait. I have some information.
I'm here. What you got, man? What you got?
Hi, Malcolm. How you doing?
You were right, Robert. This is the boy's grandfather. He was rushed to Lake Hospital in Detroit yesterday afternoon for an emergency quadruple bypass. Oh, and here's the number.
Great. Thanks, man. Malcolm! Come on.
Mrs. Carter, telephone.
Oh, it's Malcolm. Thanks. Malcolm? Boy, I've been trying to get a hold of you all day. Where have you been?
Where have I been? We didn't know where you were.
Thelma knew where I was.
Thelma was in the subway crash, Mom. But she's gonna be okay.
My God. Are you all right?
Sure, I'm okay.
You know, I tried to call the house all night long, and all I got was the computer. You've been playing with the modem, haven't you?
Yeah, I was. But I'm sorry. How's Grandpa?
Oh, he's gonna be fine. Now, where have you been all day?
With Bobby.
Who's Bobby?
Don't worry, Mom. He's a policeman.
Police?
Don't get upset, Mom. I didn't get arrested or anything.
Maybe I should talk to her. Thanks. Hi, Mrs. Carter. This is Investigator Davison, Chicago Police Department. No, Malcolm's fine. How's your father? Great. I just need to know what you want me to do with him until you get back.
Well, if I leave for the airport right now, I can be there in 2 or 3 hours, I guess.
Well, how about you give me permission to hold on to him until you get back? I'll give you the address where we'll be, and you can come by and pick him up afterward.
He really is okay, isn't he?
He's better than okay, Mrs. Carter. He's a terrific kid.
I'm Marcia's husband. Mrs. Ginsburg here. Marcia's out on the back porch with her.
You are here to arrest me, huh?
Mrs. Ginsburg, this is Lieutenant McAuliffe. Could you just tell us what happened, please?
He was suffering so much, I was wasting away with him. I felt his frustration, his pain. I did what he wanted. I wanted it too.
How do you know what your husband wanted, Mrs. Ginsburg?
Myron was a religious man. He lived his religion. He could not bear to violate the will of God. I said to him, Myron, I have lived with you for 57 years. If this is what you want, I will help you. But no suicide. God will punish me. Or forgive me. It will be my sin, not yours. I will spend the rest of my life begging God's forgiveness.
How did it happen, Mrs. Ginsburg?
His sleeping pills in the rice pudding.
Did he know?
But he pretended not to. When he was sleeping, I stopped his breathing.
Where is Mr. Ginsburg now?
Now he can be buried among the righteous.
I'm going to call the state's attorney's office, see if they can get somebody over here. As soon as they've had a chance to talk to her, we'll call homicide.
She murdered her husband, Ray. She took a life. We arrest her, take her down to the station, and she'll get a lawyer.
I think it'll fall under a Class 4 felony. Assisted suicide.
Well, you help somebody commit suicide, it's still murder.
We're talking about in a court of law, not in a church.
Well, you were raised Catholic too, Ray. You take a life, it's murder.
Hey, Carlos, I'm a sworn officer of the law. So are you.
Were you condoning what she did?
No, but it's not up to us to condemn her either. I'll make the call. We're not leaving here till we get a legal opinion of what to charge her with.
I'll help.
Oh, that's okay, Connie. My mom and Gloria are gonna come back in the morning and help me clean up.
I'm sure you can help it.
You know, after 23 years of marriage, I should just know better than to try and plan a surprise party.
You got that?
Yeah.
All right. Where would you like us to put these?
Well, it looks like the floor is the only place that's left. No!
She was just kidding, man. I bet that's your mama.
I'll go get her.
Mom! Oh, gee, I'm sorry. The plane was late.
No, it's okay. We've been wondering all day what Malcolm looks like when he's smiling. It was worth the wait.
I'm sorry.
Don't worry about it. Everybody else had a good time.
Happy birthday, Lieutenant. Well, I guess better go now.
Happy birthday, Lieutenant. This is Malcolm's mom. She just flew in from Detroit. I'm gonna give him a ride home.
How many people were here?
Your whole family, my whole family, half the Chicago Police Department.
I couldn't help it, honey. I needed to make sure Mrs. Ginsburg was being treated fairly.
I know that. Carlos called.
I get any gifts?
You know, you're gonna start lying about your age now anyway, so I guess it doesn't really matter. We'll just give you another 50th birthday party next year.
Should I get more gifts next year?
I'm gonna give you a gift.